What's going on, everyone? Today we're just going to be talking a little bit about an upcoming MMORPG called The Quinfall and their recently announced beta information. Many of you may have already heard about this game, but for those of you that have not, The Quinfall is supposed to be a very expansive open world MMO taking place in a medieval setting and is going to utilize a action combat styled gameplay. The combat looks like it has the ability to be very dynamic and flashy, almost, a little BDO-esque at times, and at other times it can look a little more stiff and like it's coming out of a survival game of some sort. I would say this would probably be a little bit closer to like if you had a crossover of New World and BDO together, somewhere in between there. It's not quite on the level of BDO, but it's not as simplistic or straightforward as New Worlds, if you will. But that aside, let's talk about their recent post regarding beta. This is a really exciting post to get, but it's also definitely raises some eyebrows in people's eyes because the Quinfall only started development 2 years ago, but they have announced that the first upcoming beta is going to be on January 30th of 2024. That is only a couple months away. So the post is from one of the devs, Frenzy. Hello everyone, we are excited to finally share the long-awaited Quinfall closed beta release date and details. Since our previous announcements, we have been extremely happy to see that a large audience has been waiting and showing interest in the Quinfall project. We are proud to be involved in a project that MMORPG players show such a great interest and excitement. At this point, we are grateful to everyone for their interest and patience. The release date of the game has been slightly delayed because of some content had to be revised in line with the feedback of our players. Now, however, it is time to share a definite date. The closed beta version of the Quinfall project will be released on Steam for selected players on the 30th of January 2024. Let us remind you again that closed beta processes will take place in short periods. So, shortly after the 30th of January, all our players are planned to experience the game. Also, in the near future, we will start publishing long-term gameplay videos with our development team. These videos will allow us to share many details of the game, both through videos and our wiki section. We hope that we can share the much-awaited MMORPG experience with all our players as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience, interest, and support. So, that was the post that they made in their Discord. There's a lot of really exciting things about the Quinfall that people have seen, as well as some things that definitely raise a lot of skepticism around the game. Like we said earlier, the game only started development in 2021. Here we are currently only 2 years later, and they make it sound like release is right around the corner. Yet this is supposed to be the largest map that an MMO has had. It's supposed to have tons of different biomes, a day-night cycle, a weather system that impacts terrain, similar to like Throne and Liberties, where like when it rains, things get filled up with water. There's supposed to be, big underwater areas to explore, boats, like very like Arc Age type boats where people can get on the boats, fire cannons, have naval battles. There's, ocean bosses. There's supposed to be world bosses, bunch of world PvP that can take place around these bosses. And it just sounds like there's a ton of different MMOs that have a lot of systems that we're going to see in this that you would be very skeptical to have a game that looks like this visually and is supposed to be as deep in its systems that they talk about and advertise to only be getting done in just 2-3 years. Like that would be absolutely unheard of. Now, the only thing that I can think of that maybe has something to do with this is that the studio behind the game, Vawraek Technology, they're a Turkish studio. If you actually go to their website, they talk about they are very heavily invested in AI. So they may actually be really heavily utilizing AI to do some of the stuff for the game in terms of what we may see for how things interact with the world. And that could just be an automated element that they're going to try to pull off with the Quinfall. That may be something, the first one that we see of it. That's just my speculation. I don't have anything definitive backing that, But that's just, something that I would take away from, what their website says about the studio itself. But that would be interesting at the least. Otherwise, the skepticism is very, very heavily warranted. For an MMO on this scale, as it's being advertised with all these different professions and storylines and, bosses and world activities and just everything that the game is supposed to be, it would be very hard to believe that it's, we're looking at beta right now. We're not even 3 years into the development cycle yet. So it's, the skepticism is definitely warranted. I think everybody would love for this to be a success and have it be, proving people wrong with how development can go with MMOs, rather than them taking, 10 years or something of that nature. But, we'll see how it all pans out. Some of these videos have really exciting and cool things showing about the game. Other parts, things can look kind of empty at times. That could also be another thing behind it. We don't actually know an actual release date for the game, only this upcoming beta, but it'll be interesting to follow the game along and see where it ends up. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it and reporting on more news around it as it comes out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you ever have any questions for us or you want to talk about upcoming MMOs or your favorite MMO in general, you can find us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sav. Take care and have a good one.